In life, we often think that hard work is the only key to success. But have you ever thought that working hard alone is not enough? Sometimes, we also need to work with wisdom. Just like a lamp that stays lit all the time, no one notices it. But when it suddenly goes out, everyone immediately pays attention. In many ways, our lives are similar. If we cannot make others realize our presence and contribution in the right way, then one day someone else may replace us, thinking we are unnecessary. Let's see what today's story teaches us. Once upon a time, there was a young worker named Daniel Carter who worked in a factory. His mentor was an elderly craftsman named Mr. Robert Lee. Mr. Robert Lee was very experienced and respected in the factory. One day, he advised Daniel, "Learn to work with full focus. Don't talk too much. Try to become the best at everything in the factory so that no one can replace you." Daniel took this advice seriously. 10 years later, Mr. Robert Lee retired and Daniel took his place in the factory. Following his mentor's teachings, Daniel worked with complete dedication and discipline. He stayed quiet, focused only on his work, and became extremely skilled. One day, Daniel decided to visit his old mentor. When Mr. Robert Lee saw him, he noticed that Daniel looked upset. He asked gently, "What happened, Daniel? Is there some problem?" Daniel sighed and said, "I followed every word you told me. I work with full focus. I stay quiet. I know no one in the factory is as skilled as me. I have become competent in every task. But I don't understand one thing. Workers who don't even have half of my skills have been promoted. Yet my salary is still the same as when I started as your assistant." Mr. Robert Lee listened carefully and then asked, "Do you truly believe you have become very important to the factory?" Daniel nodded confidently. "Yes." The old mentor thought for a moment and said, "Then do one thing. Tomorrow, take a day off from work. Make any excuse. You need some rest." Daniel was surprised but trusted his mentor. The next day, he took leave from the factory. When Daniel returned the following day, the factory manager called him into the office. The manager said, "Because you were absent yesterday, the factory faced many problems. The tasks you usually handle easily could not be solved by others." Realizing Daniel's importance, the manager promoted him to senior technician and encouraged him to keep working with the same dedication. Daniel felt grateful to his mentor. He believed he had finally discovered the real secret of success. From that day onward, whenever Daniel felt he was not receiving the respect or benefits he deserved, he would simply take a day off, and the next day, he would often see the situation change in his favor. This continued for several months, but one day, Daniel faced a shocking situation. When he arrived at the factory, he was not allowed to enter. He discovered that he had been fired. Daniel was heartbroken and confused. He immediately went to his old mentor, Mr. Robert Lee. With pain in his voice, he asked, "Why did I lose my job? Didn't I follow your advice?" Mr. Robert Lee shook his head and replied calmly, "You learned only half the lesson, not the whole lesson." Daniel looked confused. The wise craftsman explained, "You understood the first part. If a lamp stays on all the time, no one notices its importance. People realize its value only when it suddenly goes out." But you were so eager to apply that lesson that you ignored the second part. Daniel asked, "What is the second part, Mr.?" Robert Lee replied slowly, "The second part is even more important. If a lamp keeps going out again and again, sooner or later people will replace it with a better one. Because no one wants a lamp they cannot rely on." The old mentor then added, "In life, we often take our family and friends for granted because they are always there for us. But imagine if one day they are not there anymore. Only then do we realize their true value. So never wait for that day. Be grateful for the people around you today. And remember, proving your importance does not mean you should stop doing your work again and again. Instead, keep working sincerely and maintain balance in everything. Moral of the story: true success comes from hard work combined with wisdom and balance. Work sincerely, show your value, but never become unreliable. Because in life, consistency and balance are the real keys to respect and success.